If your team doesn't know why they're coming to work, don't expect them to care about how it's going. Lack of clear vision kills momentum. In this episode, we'll show you how to fix that with 3 powerful vision statements that align your team, drive your purpose, and keep your family law firm profitable. Welcome to the Revenue Roadmap Podcast, the show for family law professionals who want to drive real revenue, increase long-term profitability, whether you're building your first office or your 50th. We deliver strategies and insights to build sustainable, purpose-driven firms. I am your host, Tyler Dolph, the CEO of Rocket Clicks, our digital marketing agency focused exclusively on helping family law firms grow. Today, I have Anthony Karls and JP VanderLinden with me. Anthony is the president of our agency and also the co-founder of our family law firm, Sterling Lawyers, which has grown to over 32 attorneys across 25 offices. JP leads our operations at the agency, helps us develop our vision, and build law firms across the country. So very excited to have them. Today, we are going to talk about how to craft and apply 3 essential vision statements, impact, people, and financial, that will help guide your firm towards sustainable success. You'll learn how to write them, how to use them, and we even have a download for you to make sure that you check them against the rubric. Hope you enjoy it. All right, gentlemen, we are continuing on our law firm vision development series. Today, we're going to talk about the actual vision, the why behind why we need 3 different visions. Which we brought this up to our own agency here and firm. I kind of was like, well, don't you just need a single vision? And you both opened my eyes to the why behind the 3 different visions. So JP, I'm hoping to start with you to talk through the why statement. Why does a company need 3 different vision statements, and what should they do about it?
Yeah, so the core thing to remember is that your vision needs to be big enough that all your team members' individual visions can fit inside it. And so when you're describing a future state, which is what a vision is, it's the mission is why we exist, and the vision is like what it looks like as we're getting there. When you're describing it in detail, you need to do it in such a way that your team members can attach themselves to the things that motivate them and drive them. And newsflash, your team is not all motivated by the same thing. And so by having these different buckets that you put it into, you're able to reach different members of your team and tap into their inner motivation to get the best results for your firm.
I love it. Why don't we start with what are the 3 visions, and then we can dive into each one.
Yeah, so the 3 are impact, people, and finance. And so another way for impact is also maybe like legacy. But impact, people, and finance is the way we talk about it internally here.
Love it. Let's start with first.
Cool. So the impact is the bigger result you're going to have on the world, on your community, on those around you. And so one way to think about this is, if you flip it around, is to say, like, if we didn't do the things that we say we're going to do, if we didn't exist, why would the world be worse off? Like, what's the thing we're going to do that's going to make it like beneficial for others that we exist? Because the majority is, most of us don't get up every day just to go to work, to push the buttons, and to bring home the paycheck. Like, there's a small portion that's the only thing they want to do, and that's fine. But like, most of us are like, I want to actually like do something meaningful with my life. I don't just want to dig a ditch and fill it back in. I want to like do something beyond myself. And this is the place to capture that for your team, to help them get excited for those purpose-driven people.
100%. Right. And easy if you're curing cancer or saving lives across an ocean. But for a family law firm, what do you think? I think it's kind of easy. I think it's amazing, actually.
Yeah, I think if you're missing this in your family law firm, you're probably missing the thing that's going to most connect your attorneys to why they went to law school. So, most people go to law school so that they can have an impact on the world. Like, okay, so how, like, this is exactly what we're talking about. So if you're missing this, and we're working in such a deeply personal space in family law, because we're really shepherding people in a family law firm through one of the most stressful seasons of of their life. So, death and divorce are two of the most stressful things that people can go through. And as a family law firm, having a really good vision statement on how you want to support your clients through that season, I think is definitely important to not an insignificant chunk of your team.
100%. Yeah, I think we hear that from the interview series that we do to other law firm owners that we know. The opportunity to add value and care during a difficult season is all about legacy and impact, right, JP?
I think the other thing too is like your team when they're especially in a family law firm, your team is to some extent experiencing what the clients are experiencing. Like on an intake team, you're going to hear about domestic violence. You're going to hear about, people being unfaithful, doing things that are, there's a saying in family law is good people at their worst, and criminal law is bad people at their best. So that's what you're dealing with internally is good people, but they're basically in one of the worst seasons of their life. So, and you're going to experience that. And if you don't have if you're not connected or you don't have a purpose vision, it's gonna be hard. It's harder to go through those things because there's nothing you're relating back to. There's no like deeper purpose to why you're doing what you're doing. It just feels like another phone call. It's like, I really don't want to deal with this person today versus like, no, this person needs me to be here today because I know I've had a bunch of these conversations. I know how to handle their stress. I know how to calm them down. I know how to get them to the next step. I know how to make them feel safe. And like, that can be really rewarding, even though it's a difficult conversation. So I think it's really important to have a purpose-driven vision statement that talks about impact and legacy.
That feels like the easy one. That's the layup here as family law firm owners. What about the people vision, JP?
Yeah. So if your purpose vision is kind of how you're going to impact your clients, how you're going to impact the world, how you're going to make a positive difference, the people vision is turning that lens internally to your team. And so, think really heavily about the recruiting aspects of this is when someone's considering joining your firm versus, any of the other options that they have on the table, you want to set yourself apart, not necessarily in, hey, we pay the best or we have the best hours or we're really close to where you live. You want it to be like, what is in it for me from a belonging, a support, feeling seen, feeling cared for perspective? And so, how are you going to positively impact your team as your firm grows and develops and becomes all the things that you envision? Because if your team feels like you're for them in those tense moments that Tony was talking about, as they're going through those stressful things with their clients, and they feel like you've got their back, you're going to have way better morale, way better turnover. The loyalty is going to be there. People are going to be excited to show up, even when things are hard, because they're going to go, yeah, it's hard, but at least it's hard with people I care about, doing something I care about, and I feel cared for myself. And so very much it's creating a belonging around your team.
Great point. And it's not as easy as just saying, hey, you get to do all that, life-changing legacy work. Isn't that enough?
What we do here at Rocket Clicks is we have a number of PPF goals, personal, professional, financial goals that we would like to support our team in achieving. So we believe that they're a highly integrated, successful person is someone that is not only an A player at work professionally, but they're an A player in their personal life, whatever that looks like. They're an A player in their financial life. So, and that will help them be more of an A player in their professional life. So, when you think about people vision, what are the underlying factors that are going to help your team achieve their best versions of themselves? And like, how do you quantify that and how do you measure it? And how does that turn into action in the day-to-day? I think are important things to consider because all of these can be very interconnected pieces, from mission, vision, values to your every other week coaching process. How do those all interconnect? I think is something to be strategic with.
100%. Any examples that you remember from Sterling?
I mean, over at the law firm, we really wanted to create a highly collaborative culture that was built for family lawyers that had families. So, one of the things that was, I don't know if it's unique, how unique it is. It felt unique working with the firm for so many years. We had so many what we called Sterling children because there was so many babies that were had over the 10 years that I was there. I think it was north of 50. It was crazy how many children were part of the Sterling family that showed up after people started. So that was cool. And we were able to help our team continue to be great at what they were doing while having a family and having the space to do everything in their life. So, that integrated directly with our recruiting. Some of our top performers, they interviewed while pregnant. Technically you can't look at that, but I can tell you the marketplace looks at that and they're like, why don't we talk after you have the baby so that I don't have to pay for this thing. And then I don't have to pay for your maternity leave. And all of those things. It's not good. It's not healthy, but we use that to our advantage because we had several, probably close to five or six people apply while they were pregnant, and they got maternity leave very shortly after they started. It never bit us in the butt, and I think it's because that's the culture we created. So we're very supportive of that stuff.
Okay, now one that is, financial vision's difficult, I think, on a couple different levels, because sometimes it can be perceived as like, oh, well, that's what the owner wants to make, or, oh, that's just the money side of things. When in reality, and JP, apologize if I'm stealing any thunder here, but it is more along the lines of this is what it will take in order to achieve the other two vision components.
Yeah, the integration of these things is so important. There's a reason you start with the impact and the people, and you end at the financial, because the financial is probably the easiest one, and it's also probably the one that resonates the least with your team, because very few people get excited to get up in the morning to go make somebody else money. It's just not there, right? It's just not going to be something you tap into. And so the only reason that finance is here, again, go back to the idea of like people seeing their vision inside of yours, is like, hey, whatever you want to be, the way that becomes reality is if we become this. And so if you want to move up and take on new positions, we have to be creating new positions, which means we have to be growing. If you want to make more money, there has to be money flowing into the firm, and there has to be profitability so that we can make that happen for you. If you want to, Tyler, one of the things we've talked about before is when I was evaluating all my options of where to go with my next move, and I chose to come to Rocketclicks, part of that was because you talked about how excited you were to see the team buy new vehicles, buy new cars, take vacations, have kids, and how fulfilling it was for you as the leader to see the team growing. All that stuff only happens if there's money. And so the finance vision has to be positioned in a way where it's shown as a vehicle for helping your team achieve their financial goals, as that's a synergistic thing, rather than like this is helping some other guy who I don't care about, or some other gal I don't care about. And so it doesn't tap into me. In fact, it may even be a turnoff for me, depending on my worldview. So how you position this in connection with the other two is extremely important.
I think too, having it part of your, recruiting process is important, because, when our final interview somebody here at Rocketclicks, they have to give a presentation on why they're going to be a good fit, and they get to see our mission, vision, values, and our core, and our, and they have to present on why they'd be a good fit for that. If this is going to be a turnoff for them, and like they don't want the business to be successful, great. You're probably not going to show up very well to the interview. I don't care. Like, I'm happy that you didn't show up well for the interview, because you're clearly not going to be a good culture fit. It's a good way to screen people, all three of these, because if you can't find yourself in them, all of them, you're probably going to struggle integrating into the business. So I think from integration perspective, I think it's important. I mentioned three different ways for each of these where you can pull these in. I think it's important not to just have them, but leverage them in different areas of your operation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting how the finance vision has evolved over time at our firm and at the agency to tie it more to bringing everything together as the opportunity for us to help our team achieve those big goals and truly build something that they're proud of. Well, we have a special kind of a bonus section here. JP came armed with a few vision statements from some big companies that he's going to allow us to beat up a little bit based on this ideology. JP, I'm excited to hear what you have.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we kind of haven't talked about is like ways to do this wrong, right? And so, there's a couple of things that I think we'll call out as we go through these, but it's easy to talk about this in concept, right? This idea of a vision statement, but like, let's pull some real ones out. Let's look at them. So I'm very interested to see how you guys think about these because I was intrigued by them. We'll start with Amazon's Kindle brand. And so their vision statement at Kindle is every book ever printed in any language, all available in 60 seconds. So what do you guys think? How does that land?
I don't get the impact part yet. I didn't hear any impact. Like if they would have said, because this will save 1 billion trees, that would have added some value for me from an impact standpoint. It was very tangible. Like I could run towards that. Like there's this many books printed every year.
It feels more like a mission to me. That's what that one.
Yeah, good point.
Actually feels like if we went and reviewed our last podcast.
Yeah, I plug.
And you compared the Amazon Kindle brand statement to that, you're probably like, yeah, that's a pretty good mission statement.
So that's one of the common mistakes, right? Is mixing your mission and your vision, not being clear on the difference between them. One of the things about the vision is it has to be tangible, right? It has to be clear. It has to be specific. If it's too like big and amorphous, it's gonna be hard for people to like be like, yeah, I can see how like I'm a part of that and that's a part of, yeah, get excited. All right. So the next one, maybe a little more familiar brand for this podcast, Tesla. They want to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. How do we think about that one?
All impact. Tangible, maybe not so much. How are you going to measure it?
Did we accelerate it? Like, I don't know. How much? Like, what does that look like?
We know when we're done. Are we on Mars?
That's the SpaceX one. Gotta stay on brand for that one. Tony, what do you think?
I actually like it generally. I think there could be some sort of measurement there, time frame. There might be so the ones that we have, ours are all 10-year targets. They're also measurable within that 10 years. So that would be my critique, but it doesn't feel overly off. Plus I like the nomenclature, keeping it in the vehicle realm with accelerate. So
accelerate. Yeah.
It's good marketing.
You could be a little cheeky with it. You could have some fun.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's really easy for the team to remember.
Yeah, that too.
Right. It's very short and pithy. You're not gonna get lost on it. It's not too long.
And there's no esoteric terms.
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna flip it then. Given that, we're gonna go something that's several syllables longer.
Syllables.
This is Warby Parker, the eyeglasses company. We believe that buying glasses should be easy and fun. It should leave you happy and good looking with money in your pocket. We also believe that everyone has the right to see.
We believe a lot of things. I'd like to know how they're going to gauge good looking.
Just be good looking. We believe you should be good looking. Get on that. Heavy on the, I feel like it's heavy on the impact side.
Yep.
Right. It is not tangible. That is a consistent theme we're seeing. There's a lot of fuzziness to these. It's going to be like, we need some specificity. So something for our listeners to keep in mind.
I think the reason for that is if you think about personality assessments, your influencer types and your relational types If you're looking at a DISC assessment, it's probably going to feel okay about these general purpose driven statements. But your analytical folks, I mean, like, what are we doing? When are we doing it? How many times are we doing this? What are we doing? So like the reason for kind of the feedback here is you're writing this for your whole team, not just you. And
that's good.
So, a lot of business owners have super high drive, and they're going to be more charismatic, and they're going to probably write statements that look more like this, but that doesn't mean they're for everybody. How do they make them accessible?
I've got a food brand here for you. I want to see. So one of the biggest brands in the world, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Let's see if you can figure out who it is in the vision. That'd be good. To be the world's best quick service restaurant experience, being the best means providing outstanding quality, service, cleanliness, and value, so we make every customer in the restaurant smile.
Well, that's got to be McDonald's.
Tony gets the gold star.
Oh,
it's McDonald's.
Same owner.
Yeah, the measurement is off. I don't know if that's how I describe McDonald's.
Yeah, you got to work on that whole cleanliness thing.
But, on a scale of 5-star review, most McDonald's are probably going to get like a 2.5 to 3. Like it's good. It's fine.
There you go. Your vision statement matching your brand.
It's like Bill Burr's assessment of a man. We have two feelings. It's mad or fine.
Yes, this is fine. Nice.
But if you ask me why I'm fine, then I'm going to get mad. Then it's all back and forth between mad and fine.
So, Tyler, do we want to invite our listeners to send their vision statements in, and we'll roast them on air next time?
100%, absolutely. Happy to comment and take a look at these.
There will be a cheat sheet in to download so that you can do your own assessment with 10-point assessment with 10-point scale for each one. That way you can get on the right track.
Give you the answer key to the test.
Yeah, I love it. Gents, awesome. Appreciate the time. Love going through the vision. Looking forward to continuing down our leadership and law firm growth series. And to that, we will see you next time. I really hope you enjoyed this episode on developing a 3-part vision. If you did, you will love our next episode, which goes into the next step, which is developing your mission statement. Make sure to check it out here and continue on this journey with us.